The Epistle of James is a letter that speaks directly to the heart of every believer. Written by James, the brother of Jesus and a leader in Jerusalem, it was meant for Jewish Christians scattered across the world, facing trials, injustice, and uncertainty. In just 5 chapters, James challenges us to live what we profess, faith that is active, sincere, and visible in everyday life. He calls us to go beyond rituals and words, to embrace a faith that works, endures, and shows love to others. This sermon-style study distills 14 key lessons from the book, guiding us to grow spiritually and live a faith that transforms. Lesson 1, Joy in Trials. James begins by reminding us that trials are not a curse, but a means of growth. He writes, "Consider it pure joy when you face trials of many kinds. Adversity tests faith, builds perseverance, and matures the believer. Challenges refine our hearts and strengthen trust in God. Painful moments are not wasted. They shape endurance and spiritual resilience. Embrace trials with faith, knowing God is molding something eternal through every hardship." Lesson 2, Ask for wisdom. True wisdom comes from God, not human understanding. James urges, "If any of you lacks wisdom, ask God who gives generously. Yet it must be requested with unwavering faith. Doubt clouds judgment, but trust unlocks divine insight. When decisions feel overwhelming, seek God's guidance. His wisdom is patient, generous, and leads to clarity, peace, and purpose." Lesson 3, Faith must be active. Hearing the word alone is not enough. Faith is revealed through action. James compares passive believers to someone looking in a mirror and immediately forgetting their reflection. Living the word transforms knowledge into character. It shapes our interactions, decisions, and moral courage. True faith demands obedience, not just understanding. Lesson 4, Control the tongue. James warns that a believer who cannot control their words deceives themselves. Speech can bless or destroy. Faith is demonstrated in restraint and careful use of words. Gossip, slander, and harshness have no place in a life devoted to God. A controlled tongue reflects spiritual maturity and love for others. Lesson 5, Faith without works is dead. Belief alone is insufficient. James writes, "Faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead." True faith produces tangible acts: generosity, forgiveness, service, and obedience. Works do not earn salvation, but they reveal a transformed heart. Living faith is visible. Inactive faith is hollow. Lesson 6, Words have power. The tongue, though small, wields great influence. James likens it to a spark that can ignite a raging fire. Our words can encourage or injure, unite or divide. Believers must guard their speech, choosing words that heal, bless, and reflect God's love. Lesson 7, Wisdom from above is gentle. Earthly wisdom pursues selfish gain and strife. Heavenly wisdom seeks purity, peace, and humility. It is gentle, merciful, impartial, and constructive. True wisdom is measured by how it affects relationships and resolves conflict, not by clever arguments or pride. Lesson 8, Humility attracts grace. God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Submission to God is the path to strength and victory. Pride relies on self. Humility opens the door to divine intervention. Surrender to God empowers believers to resist temptation and walk in peace. Lesson 9, Do not judge others. Judgment belongs to God alone. Speaking against others or condemning them assumes authority we do not possess. James calls believers to reflect mercy, not superiority. Our role is to live faithfully and encourage others, not to measure or criticize their faith. Lesson 10, Trust God with the future. Life is fleeting, and tomorrow is uncertain. James reminds us to say, "If the Lord wills, we shall live and do this or that." Planning is wise, but presumption is arrogance. Dependence on God changes how we approach goals, decisions, and aspirations. Faith trusts in divine timing rather than human control. Lesson 11, Patience in waiting. James compares believers to farmers awaiting harvest. Patience is not passive. it is active trust. Seasons of waiting refine the heart, build hope, and strengthen endurance. Faithful waiting prepares us for the fulfillment of God's promises. Lesson 12, persevere like Job. Job endured immense suffering without turning from God. His story illustrates that trials are not abandonment, but opportunities for faith to endure. Persistence through hardship honors God and shapes character. God rewards faithful perseverance and demonstrates His mercy in the end. Lesson 13, pray earnestly. James emphasizes prayer in every circumstance. In suffering, pray. In joy, praise. Prayer connects us to God, providing guidance, strength, and comfort. The example of Elijah reminds us that ordinary people can accomplish extraordinary outcomes through faithful, bold, and persistent prayer. Lesson 14. Restore the wandering believers have a responsibility to care for those who stray from the truth. Restoration is gentle, patient, and loving. It saves souls and reflects Christ's compassion. Faith thrives in community, and we are called to support one another with mercy and guidance.